two ravens sit on Odin's shoulders and bring to his ears all that they hear and see. Their names are Huginn, thought, and Muninn, memory. At dawn he sends them out to fly over the whole world. As does the ISS, looking down on our planet and its people. Huginn, ESA's new long-duration mission, will relay knowledge and thought back from space.
Huginn is my first long-duration mission to the ISS, and I like how symbolic the name ties into the realm of human spaceflight. When we're up there, we do experiments that are then used to improve life on Earth. Much as Huginn whispering in the ear of Odin, the one-eyed Allfather, we try to further the knowledge by telling others on the ground what we've learned. For this mission, I'm training at several locations, including the European Astronaut Center here in Cologne. I've been doing a wide variety of things. First and foremost, training, of course. In particular, training regarding some of the experiments that I'll be conducting on board the space station. On top of that, I've been doing some of my medical assessments. Astronauts, of course, have to be healthy and fit before we launch. And so there are a number of medical tests that we have to pass before we are given the go to launch. I will fly to the ISS as part of SpaceX Crew 7, and I've been assigned the role of pilot. It's an honor that I'm the first ESA astronaut to take on this role. Once in orbit, I will perform many different experiments, including 10 Danish experiments. 3 of them have to do with living healthy, both in space and on the ground. These include the space wear monitor, the circadian lights, and the sleep in orbit experiments. I've also been participating in what we call baseline data collection. A lot of the experiments that we do involve our own bodies as test subjects. And what we're interested in understanding is how our bodies are impacted by the spaceflight. And so we collect baseline data prior to launch, which we can then compare with data that we collect in flight and data that we collect post-flight. And that gives us, or that gives the scientists, a way to compare or to understand how our bodies have changed due to the spaceflight. Another of these experiments ties into Nordic mythology, the Thor-Davis experiment. With Thor being the god of thunder, this experiment has all to do with thunderstorms, which we still do not completely understand. We have an event camera to capture the electrostatic discharge at the top of thunderclouds and then observe how the lightning interacts with our atmosphere. Lastly, there's also the Earthshine experiment, and this has everything to do with our climate, one of the biggest and most important topics in science. As sunlight hits our planet, part of the heat and energy is absorbed, while the rest is reflected back into space. This is called the albedo effect, and it's a vital parameter in understanding climate. Earthshine will try to measure the albedo of the Earth by carefully observing how much of this reflected light hits the surface of the Moon. As you see, these experiments fully convey the idea of the raven Huginn relaying back what it has learned to Odin, or in this case, mankind, teaching us by observing from above.